What's up guys, today's review will be the 2012 Warner Bros. Animation and DC series, and this one is Green Lantern, the animated series. This is another DC series I'm doing a review. The show is based Green Lantern DC superhero comic books by John Broome and Gil Kane. Green Lantern, the animated series is originally aired on Cartoon Network, and currently streaming on HBO Max. The series focuses on the adventures of Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern of Sector 2814, and his partner Kilowog. Jordan steals a spaceship controlled by AI and travels to frontier space together with Kilowog. This is the very edge of the Guardians of the Universe territory, where Green Lanterns are being killed by the Red Lanterns. Atrocitus, their leader, wants revenge for the destruction of his world by the Manhunters, created by the Guardians, but who were also shut down by the Guardians. During their adventure, they meet a Red Lantern called Razor. They take him as a prisoner, but eventually adopt him as a teammate. The writing for this show is incredibly solid, as it does stay very loyal to the spirit, tone, and lore of the comics, and does have an intriguing overarching story throughout the course of the series, and it has a very solid and balanced tone that ranges between fun and lighthearted to dark and dramatic. Also, it does have a unique setting, as it's set in space instead of Earth like most other superhero shows, which does give more creative freedom for the writers to which planets the Lanterns travel to. And on top of that, the action's pretty solid, the drama is pretty on point, there's some good world building, and there is some decent comedy. Sadly, the series was cut short before it managed to find its footing, and ended on a huge cliffhanger. Even though it was short-lived, there are a good amount of well-crafted episodes such as Beware My Power, Razor's Edge, Heir Apparent, Reckoning, Fear Itself, and Love and War, Regime Change, Invasion, Homecoming, The New Guy, Reboot, Steam Lantern, Blue Hope, Prisoner of Sinestro, Lost, Cold Fury, Love is a Battlefield, Larfleeze, Ranks, and Dark Matter. The action scenes are very solid, as they can be both fun and thrilling as well as intense and suspenseful, such as Hal and his allies facing off against the villains of the galaxy, rescuing people, escaping certain death, getting out of tight jams, and the space battles. The series does manage to have some intriguing and compelling drama, which does lead to some gut-punching and tender moments, such as certain characters either dying or betraying their allies, the blooming romance between Razor and AI, and certain characters' backstories. The show also does have a mostly solid sense of humor that does result in a good laugh every now and then, such as the witty banter and dialogue between the characters, and some of the gags and snarky remarks. The computer animation is pretty good for a TV series, and does give it a nice and solid look. The characters all have solid designs and pretty fluid movements. The backgrounds are every well crafted and do have some nice detail, and there are some very solid effects such as the lantern powers, lasers, and explosions. The characters are all pretty solid and likable, as they do manage to have some good chemistry, dynamics, and development. Hal is a pretty solid and likable protagonist, as even though he can be pretty snarky and reckless, at the same time, he is incredibly brave with a strong sense of justice. The other main characters are also very strong protagonists, as they do have some great chemistry and dynamics with each other, and do have some great development, such as the tough but kind-hearted Kilowog, the reformed Red Lantern Razor, and the highly intelligent AI. There are also some very likable supporting characters that also manage to have some good chemistry and development, such as Hal's love interest Carol aka Star Sapphire, the ever-wise Guardians, the hopeful Blue Lantern Saint Walker, and several of the other members of the Green Lantern Corps. The villains are all very solid, as they do manage to be very formidable and menacing, such as the ruthless Atrocitus and the hate-filled Red Lantern Corps, the deadly and emotionless Manhunters, the insatiable Anti-Monitor, the greedy Orange Lantern Larfleeze, and more. The voice actors all manage to deliver some pretty solid performances, such as Josh Keaton as Hal and the Manhunters, Gray Delisle as AI and Bleeze, Kevin Michael Richardson as Kilowog, Jason Spisak as Razor, Jonathan Adams as Atrocitus, Ian Abercrombie as Ganthet, Jennifer Hale as Star Sapphire, D. Bradley Baker as Larfleeze, D. Dirk Bader as Guy, Ron Perlman as Sinestro, and more. The music for the series is very well composed and really does capture the show's action-packed, dramatic, and light-hearted tone. And so, what is my verdict on this Warner Brothers animation and DC Comics series? I'm giving this show a 10 out of 10. The show is definitely a Green Lantern, with more action,